Well, boy, you're going to love my guest today. She is in Anchorage, Alaska, a military wife, and she's been in real estate. I think she said around 4 years, but man, has she got some good nuggets. It talks about AI in here, but she talks about how she builds her relationships to, like, when you're in the military and you're bouncing around like crazy, you've got to be able to build relationships quickly. And that's what she's going to talk about. And you're going to love it. So stay tuned.
Welcome to Real Estate Riches, where Kathy Byrnes empowers realtors to achieve the success they've always dreamed of. Starting her career at 55, Kathy built a thriving business that offers the freedom of time and financial independence. And now she's sharing her journey to help others do the same. Whether new to the industry or looking to level up, this channel is your hub for proven strategies, inspiring stories, and the tools you need to grow your real estate business. Join Kathy each week to explore global opportunities, successful systems, and expert insights to take your career to the next level. Get comfortable, pick a video, and start learning. Your journey to success starts now.
Hey everybody, it's Kathy Byrnes here with Real Estate Riches, and I'm excited today for my guest, Melissa Flint. She's in Alaska. How about that? Who knew? Who knew they had realtors up there?
Just one.
Just one. The only one send the referrals to, right?
Yeah.
Hey girl, well, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I've been a realtor in Alaska in the Anchorage area for a little over 4 years. We're a military family. My husband just retired, and this is where we're going to stay. And so I'm from Iowa originally. I've always been doing sales of some sort, but we're in Alaska and business is good, and
Yeah.
it's a beautiful time of the year to be here. And so, yeah.
So military base, that's what got you there. And
Yep.
then you fell in love?
Yes, for sure. And
Wow.
even if I didn't fall in love, my husband fell in love. And I'm following him still to this day everywhere he goes. So
He must be a keeper.
he's a keeper.
He's a keeper. Well, that's great. How's business in Alaska?
It's really good. It's still a seller's market, but our buyers are getting a little bit more, especially if it's in a higher price range. Those medium price range, most affordable price ranges are still really competitive, but sellers are really having to go the extra mile to present a home that they can say yes to right away. So I work with buyers and sellers, and it helps to just give that perspective to a seller. It's like, hey, they're at the top of their budgets typically, hoping for the rates to go down and when they can refinance, but they're really tapping towards that top. And so
Yeah.
they don't want to have to replace your carpet. They don't want to have to do
Right.
anything. But yeah,
Excuse
it's
me.
been still really, really good. We have a strong military community here, a strong relocation business here, and then travel and tourism, of course, brings people as well.
Yeah. Does the travel and tourism actually pull people in who want to live there?
Yep. Yep. That I think that and like the television shows are like, oh, we're gonna make it in Alaska. And it's not quite like the television shows, obviously. But
Well,
yeah,
one
once
sec.
they get
Huh.
I think once people come here, it's just like living anywhere else, but it has some of the most beautiful scenery. I mean, I drive a lot for my job because we are spread out so far, but I drive by the same mountains like every day and they look different every single time.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Love that.
Beautiful.
So tell me how you're using AI in your business. It sounds like you are.
So I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of it, but I've taken several different classes on it. Some of our continuing education is included in here, and then just for the heck of it, just to try to wrap my mind around what it can do. I just had an advertising company chat GPT me just to see what I'm basically a report card for how I'm doing socially. That was really insightful. And then you can use it to speak more as you, like your own personal person.
Right.
And so I've been using that to write some scripts, some introductory emails. I've recently had our transaction coordinator go to more of a full-time status. And so just kind of determining what the roles and responsibilities are just by talking to it. And it's just rolling it out professionally. I did a new marketing plan of action with it this past
Nice.
week. I'm still tweaking it, but I love that it sounds like me. I could just
Yeah.
say, this is what I'm trying to say, but make it better. And they're like, okay. And it does.
Well, you might like a class that I teach. And a matter of fact, I'm teaching it next Friday at 11 Eastern Standard Time. And it's always the last Friday of the month. And I teach the beginnings to understand the tool of ChatGPT and how to actually make it be a custom GPT to you so that the whole system always talks like you. You don't have to always say it. You've trained it with different questions and stuff on how to do it. I teach you all the nuances of the different tools that are in there. And then I show practices of how you can actually put it into place. Like, for example, what did I do yesterday? Because I use ChatGPT as my base, but I use other AI products. And oh, shoot, I can't remember now, but I was pretty impressed with myself. I like
Pretty
doing
good.
deep research on different things that I don't know about. Like my current listing, I didn't know much about the territory. I like to stay in my circle when I do my listings. However, my referrals, I go all over the world. But my listings, I've always stayed, I'm a waterfront specialist, so I stay in my little territory here. Also, it's more efficient with my time and my net because I'm always looking at my net versus my gross. So I had this listing down in the Charlotte area because I'm in North Carolina, and it was a territory I didn't know. So I went into Grok AI, which is Elon Musk's AI product. It's free, does deep research. I said, here's the address of the house. It's a very popular area. People seem to really overpay in this place. So tell me everything about the area, what makes it special, what's the going price per square foot, because it's a hodgepodge of all types of different houses. Some are old, some are little, some are $5 million homes, and nothing makes sense there. And
That's
so,
how Alaska is, actually.
wow. And that's how
Mhm.
the waterfront is. So I knew nothing is consistent. So where is my consistency component? You know? And so before I went on a listing appointment, I had to do that. And I said, now I need a presentation to be able to back this up with my clients. And it was rock solid, great, incredible. My client said, yeah, we want you. I go, that's right. And that's the point. When you're doing AI and somebody else isn't, they're going to see it. They're absolutely going to see the difference in what you're bringing to the table, whether you're the buyer or the seller, just by how you propose it. And even how I did comps, because I've got it under contract now, and when an appraiser wants to go do an appraisal on it and they're facing the same thing, I want to be able to have an incredible package that I already created. Here, buddy, this will make things easier for you and hopefully get the price that we got on our contract.
I love that idea. That's a great idea. As I always feel like whatever the price is or whatever we get for the house, it's got to be substantiated. And it also
Yeah.
can help you substantiate a price that you come up with, for the listing appointment too.
That was
Or I found all of these things. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to that
right.
maybe someone wouldn't know that's moving here?
Well, it gave me the base in Grok, and then I put that information into ChatGPT. I went in the MLS. I got all the homes active, current, under contract, sold in the past period of time. And then I uploaded all that as one PDF, uploaded that into there. And then I said, I also told it who it was. I said, you're an expert appraiser specializing in this particular neighborhood within the Charlotte metro area. And so it gave me my first set of numbers, and I said, hey, wait a minute, you rascal. You just did it price per square feet. You didn't adjust for how many garages, if there is a garage, if there's a pool, there's not a pool, the different bedrooms, all that. I said, you're an appraiser, remember? I need to see the breakdown. So then it gave me really strong breakdown. And then it said, would you like that on an Excel spreadsheet so that you could present it? I go, yes, I would. And so then it gave me the Excel spreadsheet that I could do it. So I have all of that to present to my appraiser. How about that?
Yeah, gift wrapped. There you
Yeah,
go.
right. So I feel very
Mhm.
confident there'll be no problem when it comes to that because I'm able to substantiate every single number.
Yeah,
So, and
love that.
that's what ChatGPT can do. And I also posted pictures of different things. Ooh, that's what it did. It's coming back to me now. Okay, yeah, yesterday. I had a house. The buyers wanted it, but the whole backyard was this giant hill. And yet the property went back up the hill, but it was like only half the hill. And on the other side was a gully with all kinds of overgrown, disgusting stuff. And they had a little child that they wanted a little baby backyard, and you really just had the hill and the gully. So the people that were buying it had exposure to all kinds of equipment that could come do it, just make it all done. So I said, I went into Grok because it does deeper research, and I said, here's pictures of the yard, side, front, back. Here's an overview of it. Here's the survey of it. It was kind of a survey, wasn't an actual one. I said, tell me, this is in a subdivision. Here's all the subdivision requirements and pluses and minuses that you have to do with an HOA. And I said, now I want you to cite zoning. Here's the town and the county that it's in. And I said, now go through everything and tell me all the rules that we have to follow before we can actually do this. I needed to know that we could do it because it was going to be a deal breaker to buy the house. And said, here's all the things. Yep, you can absolutely do it. It's going to cost you some money, but here's all the things. And it cited all the zoning. It was awesome.
I think the internet has just, with everything already just being there and Chat GPT just being able to collect it so efficiently, and it's a game changer for sure.
It is. I was watching I think a podcast with Tony Robbins the other day, and he showed an arc of how ChatGPT is about to launch. He goes, people think it's a lot now. We're at the bottom. It's going to arc up. And when it arcs, it's going to go at such a rapid pace. And there's such a business opportunity in there too. So that's where I'm paying attention. Anyway.
Well, I would like an invite to your class. I think that would be fantastic.
It's free.
Yeah, I would love that.
Okay, I'll make sure I put that down. Webinar for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. And feel free to invite any friends. I'm open to it. I don't care what company you're with, it's irrelevant to me. I just want realtors to understand the importance of this and use little tips like I just said about thinking bigger, where you start to see different ways that you can do it. And I'm trying to gather up a bunch of testimonials of how people have used it since I taught my class. And I'm getting some great things, like one did it for Mother's Day. She used ChatGPT to help her create a whole pop-by thing, her emails, her posts, everything all done through ChatGPT, and selected out specific clients that she was going to do the pop-bys to, what the pop-by was going to be about, had a certain budget that she was restricting it to, which I loved. And she said, it was amazing. I said, I need that in a video testimonial, please, because that was brilliant. I didn't think of that.
That's an assistant, you know?
Yes.
So, yes. I mean, honestly, I paid for the full Chat GPT just because I want to be able to have at it as much as humanly possible. And there's no assistant that's more affordable than that.
Right? This is when people say, should I pay the $20? Yes, gladly. Yeah. Give them that $20 all day long. If you, of all the things all the things that there are to invest in real estate, do that and learn it.
Yes. 110%.
Right before you, there's a guy, his name is Jonathan White. His company is Whitebeard something, but he has a Facebook page called AI Prompts for Entrepreneurs. And I stumbled onto him about a year ago. Man, he leveled me up like crazy to understand how to create prompts, or what these chat GPTs, what the GPTs are. Today I'm on a 3-day class with him. And today's was about, well, we're creating 6 GPTs that we could sell. And they're on all these different subjects. And well, I need to understand them, because now once you understand the component to it, now you can make your own for whatever you need. And it will guide you, because now I have the recipe, basically. Right. And it's awesome. So tell me, what makes you special in your little town? What would you say helps that other agents may or may not be doing? How are you getting your business?
Most of my business is referrals from either past clients or agents that are out of the area. And I would say it's just the relationship building part of it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a long-term game for me, not just a one-time deal. I want to be their person for the rest of their lives, basically. I
Sure.
want to be their person for their families. And I think that everybody says that they want that, but you have to be present. You have to have empathy and sympathy and be able to put yourself in their place and know what it's like to be a buyer, what it's like to be a seller. And I think that's why it's more of a relationship.
It is.
They're in my town. I'm going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them, Anchorage, Alaska is supposed to be a big city. It's really not that big. It's kind of like a small town. And I've been to a lot of big cities. And I just think just being able to run into somebody and still have that relationship and keep it going, it's nice. I'm from a
Yeah.
small town in Iowa, so that's like my jam. I love it.
Yeah. So how are you doing that to stay in touch with through a CRM, through client events? What do you do?
Yeah, so CRM, I'm in a women in business group that
Mm,
has been fantastic. I just got a spotlight with them and used ChatGPT to create that. And essentially, what I said was, I joined this group during 2020 so that I could get to know my community. And I wasn't even, no intentions of what it was going to do. I just knew I needed to dig in. That's what most military spouses do. They're like, okay, how am I going to become a part of this community?
mm,
And we weren't living on base or anything like that. So I would say women in business and just going to those monthly things. I started to love it so much that I joined their board. I
mm,
get a lot of fun with that. I also help with my son's wrestling. I was like the wrestling mom. Got a lot of joy out of that. And our military community, we always go to base events. And when my husband was, we just went to a retirement today
mm.
for 8 of their civilians and had great contacts there. Just it felt good to be there. And then also I get this plus of, a continued business. And
Yeah.
I didn't have to say a word about real estate. And that's what I think is, I always have my coat, like my Century 21 jacket or shirt or something like that. And I always have pens and uh, business cards on hand, but I never usually bring it up. I let them bring it up. And
Mm.
I think I generally enjoy those things. And that's what I pour into outside of real estate. And then it just trickles into real estate pretty naturally. And that's my favorite.
I think
Right.
that what you just said there is gold because there's a lot of people who say, "Boy, I just don't know how to get any business." And I go, "What are you doing that you love? What are you doing that's part of your life?" And I do people know that you're a realtor? They need to know you're a realtor from your social media or whatever, like you said, even just wearing your jacket or your shirt or whatever. They need to know you're a realtor because I always tell people if you're not visible, you're invisible. And you don't have to be beating somebody up like I need somebody to buy or sell a home right now. No, they just need to know that you're productive and that even like if you're on with a company like you are, the whole company, that whole office is who your partner is when you're saying, I've got a whole partnership here. And if I don't know it, they're going to know it. We support each other type of thing. Don't you think?
Yep. I got 12 plex one time just because based on a partnership. I
Mm,
said, you know what? I'm the people person of it, but I don't, this is technically commercial and I'm still pretty new with that. So
mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring my friend Jamie along and he's going to help with that part of it. And you get 2 for 1. And
Yeah.
they were like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's smart business to do that too. Do you do many referrals out of the area?
I do. I have a strong referral network through coaching and
Mm,
through military.
mm,
And anytime that somebody's leaving the area, I will reach out and try to find them someone that's good.
yeah,
That responds to my phone calls. That if I text them or call them, they respond to me. And if they don't, then they're not going to be a good fit for a client. And so, but most of the time, it's just really appreciated because you can be like, hey, I'm on this side of it with you. We need to have a good partnership on that side of it because
right.
they're so interconnected. It's just really the best way. And it works really, really well for everyone.
I love that. And I think you said another nugget there. If they don't respond to you, like I don't believe in these groups. It's like, well, just take me down. I live in this city, this city, this. No, I need to know who you are. These
Yep.
are my clients. If I'm referring them to you, you represent me. I need to know who you are, how you do your business. Let's talk about it. I'm going to interview you. And that's what I tell my people that I'm going to interview that person. I'm going to feel good with them. Then you interview them. You see if you feel good. If you don't, we'll go find somebody different, right?
I like that. If you don't, you interview them as well. And if you're not comfortable, then let's find somebody else that will be a good fit. If
Yeah,
I don't know them specifically and haven't worked with them before, the first step is, are they going to pick up their phone? Are they
right.
going to respond to a text? I send my contact card and, let them know that it's legitimate. And if
Yeah,
they don't, then
you're out. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a professional way. Um,
yeah,
that's because we need to maintain our professionalism in what we're doing, and our clients need to know that we are professionals instead of what we're portrayed at. I loved what you said in a note to me here on your thing. It said, "What lessons have you learned that you'd like to share?" And that was that there's no such thing as a real estate emergency. Tell me more.
well, I would say that sometimes it definitely can feel like a real estate emergency. And especially when I was, you know, the longer that I'm in it, the less emotionally attached to the outcome I am. But I think it just comes with experience and knowing like there's some things that you just can't push. You can always do your best but you can't make a client feel one way or another. You can't make another client feel another way.
Yeah.
And um, as long as you can feel good about what you've been doing up to that point and you've been doing your best, I mean, there's nothing else you can do about it. And then just being there for the client and letting them know, I understand that you're frustrated right now. I get this, but let's look at this and this.
Yeah.
You're going to get to close by Friday. It's not today, but it's still by Friday. You still got that 4-day weekend. I had that real estate emergency today.
Oh boy.
Right? But
Yeah. Been there.
they need you to not be anxious. They need you to
Yes.
be the calm in the storm. And because it's an emotional roller coaster for sellers and for buyers.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And that's the goal that you just said there. We need to be the calm. We need to be calm. If we lose our cool, now I may lose my cool that they don't see as I'm trying to solve it, but you're not going to see me lose my cool. I've had some agents that I just like to strangle because of how they're messing up the deal. And, but I can't necessarily say that to my client because now they're going to hold this client or that other agent, really have vindictive mindset on it. And I go, no, I need everything to be smooth. So I'll be upset with him. You don't need to know about it.
I think too, having a good relationship with the other partners like lenders, title,
Oh, yeah.
assistants, the vendor, like if you can have a good professional relationship with them, they'll always go out of their way for you. And if they can
Yeah.
do it, they will do it. And they
Right.
know that you'll return the favor
Yes.
as well. And at the end of
Perfect.
the day,
Yeah.
we all we can do is what we can do.
Right. I had an example where I put that the buyer's house under contract and we only have a 2 week due diligence. I forgot it was Memorial Day weekend. And so we got a 2 week due diligence, and I'm leaving town in 3 weeks. And so I'm like, oh gosh. So I text my survey guy and I said, and it was Sunday. I said, the first thing I need to do is apologize for the time and the day. I said, I really do apologize. However, I need a favor. And if there's any way you can do it, I'd really appreciate it. Here's my story, blah, blah, blah. And he texts back and he said, I can get you in next week. I'll make your deadline. I'm like, oh, thank, because that's about building relationships and respecting them. Even though I was coming on a Sunday, I started out with an apology. And interestingly enough, the client is a developer and he he called me up and he goes, I need a good survey guy. And I gave him that guy. I said, use my name. And he goes, I know him. He never returns my calls. And I'm thinking, we have a different relationship. Maybe you are not as friendly to him. Maybe you don't give
Right?
him as much business as our team does. Because I'm on a team and he gets tons of business from us. So but respect too. I don't know what the client did. I don't know if he's bossy or not, but
Maybe a smidge bossy.
he,
But it
well,
is, the relationship is 100% what's going to
yeah.
make the difference. And if they can do something, they will.
And don't you feel that you need to have like an army of your team that you just have a rhythm to,
Yeah.
right?
So,
All of
so you
them.
mentioned that you're on a team. I'm not part of a team, but I've always looked at our title company as a team member,
Yes.
I've looked at different lenders as team members. I've looked at, well, definitely, obviously, transaction coordinators and things like that, and our office folks. But I mean, your survey person, your home inspection people, like if you need to
Plumber.
call in a
Yeah.
favor, and then that you would do the same for them as well.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think that's absolutely essential. And I think you do have to have that team. And they're not just anybody. They're people you can really count on that are going to do the right job, fair price. They may be higher or not, but they're fair price.
It's who I would hire or who
Yeah.
I would work with if I had a choice.
Yes, exactly. Well, that sounds great. Got any other last minute nuggets for us, girl?
I think the biggest lesson that I've learned in keeping sanity in all of this is, pre-qualify, pre-qualify, pre-qualify. Your buyers, your sellers, your time is so valuable and so is theirs. And the more that you can vet a property or their motivation, the better.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Love that. Well, thank you so much, Melissa. It's been great having you on here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
All right. Well, we're going to have all her information so that you can reach out to her, give her referrals in Anchorage. You know, you got a gal. Thanks, everybody. See you on the next one. So thanks for joining me on this episode of Real Estate Riches. Wasn't that great? I'm sure you got a nugget or two. I know I did. So if you liked it, please subscribe below, share it with everybody, make some comments. We really find that invaluable. And if you're thinking that you would love to talk about this a little bit more, let's schedule a business strategy call. I'll have the link below. And let's see if we can't mastermind together and see if we can empower each other. That would be great. So until next time, signing off. Hope to see you on the next one.